Not every equation in life is a one or two step process. More often, problems require multiple steps before a solution can be reached. And just as in life, math has a natural order to follow when dealing with these problems. In this video and in this series, we're talking about that order, the order of operations. So you could ask, how important is order in mathematics? Well, take a look at this example. When we work from left to right, we get that the answer is 8/3. But take another look, and you could also get 4, or 20, or 24 from the same equation. In a crunch, and without any rules to guide you, how are you going to know which answer is right? The order of operations gives us a straightforward approach so that this kind of uncertainty never happens. Now, as far as we know, the order is as old as mathematics itself. It's existed in one form or another for centuries, and it's so ubiquitous you probably know it by a different name, PEMDAS. PEMDAS, of course, means, wait, what does PEMDAS mean again? Oh, right, Purple Ewoks meditate daily after supper, right? Right? Well, not really. PEMDAS actually means parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. When more than one of these symbols is present in an equation, PEMDAS is the order you'll use to solve them. We're refreshing ourselves on the 6 operations that make up PEMDAS. Today, we'll talk about the 5 things you need to know about addition. So let's get started. We'll start off with the definition. Addition is an operation that increases the value of a number by a set amount. It's performed using a symbol that looks something like a cross or a crosshair. It's 2 lines perpendicular to each other. The addition sign sits between the 2 values being added and is often called a plus sign. So what does it look like, and where in real life will you see it? Were you a kid who kept track of your height through the years? Then you probably started at a specific age, say 2 years old. By the time you turned 5, did you grow taller? Well, that new height is the result of adding to your previous height. Maybe it was 2 to 3 inches, or maybe it was 6. If you continue to measure your height over your lifetime, you'll see it change many times as you add to your total height. You can build a long equation, adding up the increments you grew over time, all starting from your initial height. Now we visualize this on the number line by moving to the left. Addition as an operation increases a value, and numbers get bigger as they move to the left on the number line. When we add 3 to the number 5, we're moving 3 steps to the left of 5 on the number line, stopping at 8 because 5 plus 3 equals 8. Likewise, when we add 5 to -6, we take 5 steps to the left on the number line and end up at -1. That's a quick summary and definition of addition. The second thing you need to know about addition is that order is irrelevant. You can change the order of the numbers being added without changing the answer a lick. Adding numbers counting down 5 to 1 is 15. Adding them counting up from 1 to 5 is still 15. This also means that you can add up numbers in any order, left to right, right to left, or easiest first. The answer will still be the same. Here we're looking at 5 to 1 counting down, but we've added 4 plus 3 and 2 plus 1 first. Notice that our answer is still the same. The third thing you need to know about addition is that fractions are a special case. We've a couple of criteria to use when adding them, but first, remember that fractions have a top and a bottom. The top is your numerator, and the bottom is your denominator. First, keep in mind that fractions cannot be added unless their denominators match. If both bottoms aren't the same, they can't be combined. Second, remember that when you can combine fractions, the only numbers being added are the numerators, the tops. Do not add the denominators of fractions together. Finally, when you can add them together, start by finding the number that is the least common multiple of the denominators, using that number to convert the fractions, and then adding them together. If you're fuzzy on all the details about these, don't worry. We'll cover this in depth in a future video. Look up these topics in the meantime for more information. So the fourth thing you need to know about addition is that mixed numbers are special as well, just like their fraction cousins. See, sometimes you'll need to convert mixed numbers to fractions, and then if their denominators aren't the same, use their LCMs to make them like fractions to add them, before you can do any arithmetic. And then sometimes you won't have to do that at all. The secret is that here, in this example, the denominators are already the same, so you don't have to do anything fancy. The fifth and final thing you need to know about addition is that negative numbers bend the rules a bit. Let's add -3 to +5. This time, we have to take 3 steps to the right, whereas before it was to the left. Similarly, if we add -4 to -3, we have to step 4 steps to the right again, which leaves us at -7. While we're technically adding, this is exactly the same thing as subtracting the numbers too. So as you can see, adding a negative to a positive moves the answer towards 0. +4 plus -2 moves the answer down to 2, while adding +4 to -10 moves the answer up to -6. On the other hand, adding negatives to negatives makes for bigger negatives. -4 plus -2 goes down to -6, and -10 plus the -4 goes even further down to -14. Now before we wrap up, there is one more thing worth mentioning. Note that addition and subtraction are partner operations, and that they undo each other. It goes without saying that anytime you add a number, subtracting the same number leaves you exactly where you started. This is a very helpful tool with equation solving, which we'll see later, and you will see this again before the series wraps up. Now, one important difference between the two is that things being added can be reordered, but things being subtracted cannot. 4 minus 1 minus 3 is 0, but 3 minus 1 minus 4 is -2. But you can move numbers being subtracted around as long as you move the signs with them. How does this make sense? Well, one popular method is to let the signs describe the numbers rather than the operation. So in this example, 4 is +4, 3 is -3, 1 is +1, and 2 is -2. That may seem simple, so yes, of course there's more to this than we have time for today. We'll have to cover this in a future video. In the meantime, let's get in some practice on what we know about addition. Pause the video and try these problems on your own, and I'll see you after the countdown. How did you do? If you have questions about any of the problems in this video or problems like them, leave a comment below. Visit us on our YouTube channel, like us or follow us if you enjoyed it. Visit us on the web at HarmoniousMath.com and follow us on Twitter at HarmoniousMath. Next time we'll be covering the next step in PEMDAS, division. Now that's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and remember, math didn't do anything to you. Math is your friend.